Hello, Rob from Fountain Pen Journey. Right, today's video is a bit of a channel update, and I do have some questions for you, my viewers, and especially my subscribers or people who are thinking of subscribing in this video. So stay watching, listen out for those, and if you can, answer them please, and give me a comment down below. Thank you very much, I appreciate it. Right, so 2020 has been a very strange year for, well, all of us. If you've managed to carry on through 2020 as if life is normal, then you've obviously done better than most people. So anyway, that aside, I know that 2020 and the impact of whatever is going on in the world at the moment, be it pathologically or financially, it is affecting things. And as far as I'm concerned, fountain pens, yeah, we as the fountain pen community, many of us have been affected in whatever way individually. For me personally, it has meant a hiatus on buying fountain pens, obviously, because of financial reasons, which are affecting many people, unfortunately. And I know that some of my Indian viewers have even mentioned that they're really quite struggling a lot in some cases in India, because they just can't afford to buy any new fountain pens, and yet they're still seeing Western pen fountain pen videos saying that they've bought this pen and that pen, and this is the new pen from Lamy, for example. So bit of a strange time for many of us. Other things going on. First off, anyone who's subscribed already to my channel, you will have noticed that my videos are now coming out twice a week at a regular time. They are 2 days a week, every Tuesday and every Thursday at 2 p.m. In that's London time. So I mean, at the moment we're in British summertime, so it's 2 p.m. London time. Tuesday and Thursday those videos come out. I'm keeping to a regular upload schedule, because what I was doing was churning out maybe 3 videos Monday, Wednesday and Thursday, and it was a bit scattershot, and I don't think that everyone was able to say, yeah, I've watched that video, I want to watch the next one. It was bombarding people with well, lots of videos, and that's never a good thing, because I for one don't always have time to catch up with fountain pen reviews if somebody keeps churning them out day after day after day. So that's where my channel is at now. It would be really helpful if you could give me a like down below and subscribe, because that really actually, I never realized it actually really helps your channel to grow. And my question for you guys and girls is, what do you think about my pen mail videos? Don't think about pen mail videos in general. I do have a playlist of pen mail videos. If you go to my channel and sort of up in the top, you'll see that. Pen mail videos is something that I never really caught on with until fairly recently, when I started to realise that this is how you figure out what's new in the marketplace. So I started watching some of those, but I find unwrapping a ton of bubble wrap in a cardboard box, it doesn't make very good viewing in my opinion, so that's why I don't generally bother watching them. But I know that my own pen mail videos have actually been quite popular. They've certainly had quite a lot of views, so this is where I'm asking you guys, if you can leave a comment, do you want pen mail videos or do you not want pen mail videos? I mean, if you don't want them, I'm going to make it fairly easy for you, because every pen mail video I do always starts off with pen mail in the title. So anytime you see those and you don't want to watch them, then just swipe right or whatever you do. There will be other videos coming out, because I do have an awful lot of fountain pen reviews and things to talk about coming up, so don't worry about that. I'm not just going to do loads of pen mail videos, but let me know your thoughts about them down in the comments. Please do that, because I've only got, what is it, 860 subscribers, something like that, as of today, and I think you need at least 1,000 to be able to get 1,000 subscribers to be able to develop use a YouTube poll. So that option is unavailable to me. So I'm kind of relying on you, you lovely people, to leave your comments down below. Thanks very much. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, I mean, I'm going to talk about my use of fountain pens during the 2020 lockdown, or whatever you want to call it, quarantine. Basically, if you've been working from home, laid off, whatever, I mean, it's affected my pen buying habits, and it's also affected in a positive way my fountain pen use, because I'm actually now using my fountain pens way more than normal, because I'm finding that I have more things to write about, more time to write about things, being at home all the time. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be discussing today. Now, this is the thing. I have actually been away from the office for about 10 weeks now, because I did have over a week and a half of annual leave, and then the lockdown hit in the UK, and I haven't been back to work since. So yeah, and I got my pen roll out. These are my everyday carry work pens, and I wanted to see, because I've neglected them. I must admit, I've got this out of my work bag at least twice during this time, with full intention of using these pens rather than my usual everyday carry pens that I have at home, which are more, if you like, attractive, interesting, with nicer inks. So I've used those pens. But as for my work pens, they haven't been refilled, they haven't been cleaned out, they haven't been written with. So this is 10 weeks. Let's do a little bit of an experiment to see if these things will actually write, because I know some probably will, and some most certainly won't. So because I've got a mammoth pen cleaning session coming up, because I've got a whole load of pens that I want to ink up and show you guys in reviews and everyday carry videos, things like that. So first off, the paper. Sainsbury's. These reporters pads are actually really good quality. I mean, the paper is not brilliant. It's not fantastic fountain pen friendly paper. It's coarse, it's quite absorbent, but I'm not getting bleed through, show through, things like that. But it's really affordable. Nice little solid hard notebook cover. So let's try and do this over the camera. Right, so got the paper, pen roll, drum roll, whatever you want to say. So let's do this. If anyone's interested in these pen rolls, these things are really cheap. They're available on Amazon in different designs. I quite like them. They come with these things hanging off the end. It just unwraps and it holds a whole load of pens really well, really securely. So this is my everyday carry work pens. So they're all still in there. Teasers just poking out along the top. So I'm going to go through these pens one at a time, and let's just see what actually happens. So see if any of these do right, and I know some will. So we'll start off with this white vintage Parker Vector fountain pen. So I bought this from eBay very cheaply because I wanted to try a Parker Vector before I shelled out on a new one. So I got this vintage one, and it's got a cracked cap, and there is a split just there, just above my thumb there, and it doesn't seem to affect this pen at all, which is quite amazing. So pen number one, and it, yeah, didn't even hard start. Oh, almost. Oh, it's a bit temperamental. 10 weeks. I mean, it is a bit optimistic to expect this to write. I had a feeling it would have dried out by now, and it has. Yeah, that's not going to go anyway. So Parker Vector didn't make the 10-week grade. What's next? Wingsong 3008 piston filler, incredibly cheap, and I know that they are a little bit. There we go. No problem whatsoever. This has a fine nib. So yeah, the Wingsong 3008, cheap, reliable fountain pen. I know some people have mentioned that they do sometimes crack or break or something, but I've never had any issues with these pens at all. I've had them all for at least 2 years now. And this ink in here is, I'll just cross that out because this is the first one that wrote. So this is diamine, and it is cool green. Really, really nice ink in this pen, and I'm quite impressed that that Wingsong writes after 10 weeks. So next pen, another Wingsong 3008. I'm assuming that this one will also write. It does. I'll be quick with this. Ooh, 3008. Fine. And this is Waterman Tender Purple, which is a nice ink. It's very cheap. Well behaved. I know some purple inks can be a little bit of a problem sometimes with overly saturated inks being difficult to clean, but this one, yeah, absolutely fine. And that Wingsong is also a winner. That survived the 10 weeks. Now, another favourite pen of many, many people, which I believe is probably almost empty. This has been in my everyday carry at work for years, literally since it came out, and I bought one and I needed a cheap red pen. Wingsong 51A. Not Wingsong, Ginhow 51A. See if it writes. First time. This is a fine. And this ink is my usual work ink, which is Waterman Audacious Red. So very, very pleased to see that pen write, because some Jinhao pens will hard start after very little time, say a week or so. So Jinhao 51A. I'll put these pens down here so you can see them. So yeah, Jinhao 51A, absolute winner. I mean, there's no cap liner in this, but it just shows you that a well done capping system, and it is secure. Yeah, it's done a great job there. Just need to pause momentarily. So I have now got another Jinhao. Oops. Ginhow X250, no, Ginhow 250, straight off Ginhow chip 250. Nice metallic deep red and gold version. This is a really attractive pen, and this has been in my everyday carry for years as well. I don't expect this one to perform anywhere like the Jinhao 51A. So, oh blimey, I honestly cannot believe that that actually wrote. Wow, Ginhow 250, you did me proud. I'm actually, to be honest, I'm shocked. This pen, Jinhao X450s, 750s, 250s, I've always had a lot of a bad experience with these pens, just completely hard starting after a couple of weeks of no use. So 10 weeks, I'm honestly amazed that this worked. So this ink is diamine Shira. So, wow. Seriously can't believe that that actually wrote. It just goes to show you, I mean, you pay £2.50 for a pen, and wow, excellent value. I mean, when you compare it, I mean, years ago I remember they used to say things like in clothes shows, they used to say about cost per wear. You know, you've got £1,000 dress that you wear once, it's £1,000, that's it. Or is it something where you've got a jacket that costs you 50 quid and you wear it 20 times a year and you break it down that way? I mean, this Jinhao 250, I mean, I've been using this for years and wow, excellent value. Right, let's go to the next one. Ooh, we've had a bit of, I wouldn't even say that's nib creep, that's just burping ink. So, obviously the very popular Moonman. This is the M2. So, eyedroppered, so there's always a risk of it being a bit burpy. Let's see if this writes. It does. Wow. Okay. Oops. Right, hash at that. Start again. Moonman M2. Fine. And the ink in this, I believe, is diamine teal. No, it isn't. It's Aurora Borealis. So, once again, I am actually quite surprised that this Moonman pen didn't even skip, because, I mean, the cap must be so well made with these threads, because there's nothing else in there to really say. I mean, there is a sort of ridge in there, but it's not something I would say creates a fantastic seal. I mean, this cap is, yeah, it's okay, but yeah, wow. So it's not bad considering. What have we got here? Parker Jotter, modern Parker Jotter. This will be interesting. So, yep, no problem writing there. So the Parker Jotter, excellent, really cheap, and very good quality fountain pens. Yeah, that's impressive too. It's just a Parker blue cartridge in here. So I am very, very impressed with all of these pens, save for the Parker Vector, which was the first pen I talked about here. So that's not bad, considering. I mean, to be absolutely honest, this Vector, I haven't had hard starts or no writing with this pen before, but maybe I've never noticed that the crack in the cap just there. Try and get this to focus. That crack there, I don't believe that that's contributed to this nib drying out. It's just, I think the pen just could only live so long without being used before it decided to go into hibernation. But Parker Jotter, that's obviously done a great job in surviving this last 10 weeks. So the next pen now. This is a pen that I love, the Jinhao 149. Is it 149? 159? Can't remember. 159. Just checking the cap band there. Metal pen, hugely solid, very heavy, and very, very good quality. So let's just see what on earth is growing out of there. I mean, there's nib creep, and then there's that. I mean, we have a new organism, people. Forget about anything that came out of China this year. This is something new. This is the blob. This is how the world actually ends. Fountain pen ink mutates and evolves into something else that has just now been uncapped, and well, by Christmas that'll be the end of all of us. So that's what's going to happen. So nib creep, nib creep and crystallization. Look at that. See if it focuses a bit better. Wow. Interesting. Well, there you go. You've seen something there. I'm seriously doubting this will write. Ooh, it's, yeah, ooh, sort of. It needed a little bit of coaxing. I'm not applying any pressure here, but yeah, I would say that, yeah, slightly hard start, but given the fact that it's growing something out of the nib, it's not performing well. It's nowhere near as wet as it used to be. Jinhao 159. This is feeling scratchy, so there's obviously deposits on there. It's never normally this dry. I mean, this clearly needs flushing out and cleaning. But it's this ink. Diamine Sunset. Now, this looks like a very red ink. It isn't a red ink. It's normally a very rich, very well saturated orange ink. Yeah, that's scratchy and horrible. That needs, yeah, ugh, terrible. But what can I say about that? Well, my bottle of Diamine Sunset, it's got a crust perpetually around the neck of the bottle when you uncap it. So this is obviously a crusty ink, and yeah, that is quite interesting. I'm going to actually see if I can zoom in so you can see what's actually going on there. I mean, it's not the most beautiful set of crystals. I mean, you're not going to be taking that away and turning it into a ring or anything, but very interesting nonetheless. Let's get back to normality. There we go. So yeah, interesting, very, very interesting, especially as it's grown out of one side of the feed by the look of it there. So anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. You saw it here first. I don't think no, there's nothing inside the cap. Is it hard? No, it's actually quite soft. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, well, I've touched it now. That's patient zero. Next pen. Sheaffer No Nonsense. Now, as I was picking this pen out of the pen roll, I noticed that the cap wasn't quite screwed on. So this is possibly a bit of an outlier. No, it works. Slight skip there, no pressure. Yeah, the ink flow is not great. Yeah, skipping all over the place, which is, I mean, to be honest, is absolutely perfectly understandable. It's just a Sheaffer black ink cartridge, and this is, yeah, it's just skipping. This pen would definitely appreciate a flush and a clean, because that is, yeah, needs a little bit of TLC to get that one going again. Right, final pen from my pen roll. Of all the pens, this is the pen that I suspected. What on earth have I got on? That's the Sheaffer, isn't it? This Twisby Eco is the pen that I expected out of all of these to write flawlessly from the start. So let's see. Yeah, and it absolutely does. Twisby Eco with a medium nib. And for the life of me, what's this ink in here? I'm sure it's Rora. Cross that out. Try and spell this correctly. Rora und Klinkner. Leipzig Black or Schwarz, whichever way you prefer. So yeah, no issues there. Yeah, great. So 10 pens in total. Parker Vector didn't make it, unfortunately, and to be absolutely honest, I'd say that the Sheaffer No Nonsense, but that was slightly uncapped, so not really a fair do. And of course the Jinhao 159, yeah, but I blame the ink, thoroughly blame the ink on being crusty like that. So, interesting little experiment. What was this 10-week, last 10 weeks of 2020 from March done to fountain pens and fountain pen people? I mean, to be absolutely honest, I'd love to hear what you guys have actually been up to throughout this time. I know I was going to make the most of trying to do even more pen videos, but quite honestly, I don't want to sound like I don't want to appear like I'm spamming people, which would be rather annoying, so I decided against that. So that's my everyday carry fountain pen roll for work that I haven't used for 10 weeks, so interesting little experiment. And as before, I said earlier on in the video, just going to do some other videos that I'd normally do. I've got a whole load of pen reviews coming up. I mean, recently I reviewed a couple of Diplomat fountain pens. There will be another rather large Diplomat fountain pen review coming up shortly in the next week or two, so do please hit the subscribe button to get notified of when that comes out if you're interested. And I've got lots of things to talk about, lots of pens. I've got quite a few new pens which I quite honestly haven't shared with you because I didn't want to bombard you with stuff. So there's a whole load of pen reviews coming soon to this channel. Do let me know about the pen mail videos, whether you want them or you don't want them, because if most of my viewers say we absolutely hate pen mail videos, then fair enough, I won't do them. But I know some people really do enjoy them, and they do get several hundred views in about a week. So it's a difficult call, but I want to give you guys content that you enjoy watching. So do please leave me a comment down below. So I hope you're all keeping well, keeping yourselves active and busy with your fountain pens, not leaving them for 10 weeks. But once again, this is an interesting little experiment, especially with cheaper pens. I mean, we're not talking platinum with the slip and seal cap mechanism. These are cheap fountain pens, all affordable, all really cheap, all cheap enough to take to work. You don't mind sort of breaking, losing, dropping, that type of thing. So there you have it. Thank you very much for watching, and like I say, do please leave a comment down below, let me know what you think, and I shall see you next time. Bye.